want to make sure that I acknowledge the sponsor of the show, Tiege Hanley, because Tiege Hanley sent me this new pack. They sent me the new Tiege pack, so I just literally pulled the paper out, got it out of the mail, and I started going through it, and I got a little bit more excited than I should. You know what I'm saying? So they did send me the Tiege pack, and I don't even know what this is yet. So I'm assuming this is what you get when you first order your Tiege, and I don't know what this is. Oh, this is dope. This is absolutely dope. Is this a nail kit? Ladies, get this for the fellas. Fellas, don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. This is free. This just comes with it. 30% off your first order, plus 20% off for life. Literally. Oh, snaps. I didn't know that they were sending it like this. Real talk. So this is the nail kit that they sending you. All right. So now you ain't looking like a dusty. This is a free gift straight from Tiege for the people that ordered the Tiege. They got the small one for the little hands like mine's. They got the big joints for your toenails. And then they got the joints at the bottom too. You know what I'm saying? For y'all that's a little bit more crustier than usual. All right, so that's one of the free gifts that Tiege got inside of the pack. And then, what is this? Says squeeze a quarter size amount of Tiege Hanley body wash on the center of the wet bristles. Lather, scrub, rinse, and repeat for the perfectly satisfying wash every time. So that's inside of there also, right? Ooh, I can get my rubber ducky on right here. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Tiege for sending me that uncomplicated skincare for men. And then what we got in here? We got the actual Tiege pack, right? So this is the normal Tiege pack, but then they gave me the supersized joint for the people. They wanted me to show the people exactly what they got when they ordered that first Tiege pack, when you're getting your 30% off your first order, and then you get your free gifts. You get 2 free gifts, and then the 20% off for life. So the 20% off for life is a new thing. And man, I ain't even got my keys on me to open this up. Maybe I can use the little nail clipper thing. I ain't got to buy no nail clipper for my new joint downtown. And then you get all of the washes, all of the scrubs, all of the AM, the PMs, and all of that stuff. So you got the whole thing inside of there for you to make sure you take care of yourself. But you got to make sure you take care of it every day. Right? We don't want to miss days. We don't want to be looking like dusties. It does not absolve you from being able to make sure that you brush your teeth. Brush your teeth. It don't fix the teeth problem. Don't fix you ironing your clothes. Don't fix you being able to take care of your business. But it absolutely makes sure that your skin is phenomenal, even when you're going between shaves. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Tiege Hanley. We absolutely appreciate you. Thank you for continuing to hold us down. I might do an official Tiege commercial, but I like just talking authentically to the people. I like giving the people the authentic look of what it is that you're dealing with, and I want you to hear from me personally, because anybody can do that little pitch and they can make some little videos, but very few of us can actually speak to the products of exactly what it is that you're supposed to use. So yeah, Tiege Hanley, 30% off your first order, and then 20% off for life. That's the Anton Daniels pack, 20% off for life. Using any other Tiege pack, make sure that you go ahead and let that go. And make sure you tap into the link it's in the description and take care of it, all right? What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I'm your host, Anton Daniels. Hopefully I got my audio right. I think my audio is right. What up, friends and family? How y'all feel today? Yeah, we in Studio A. We chilling. We having a good time. We working. Being incredibly productive. I hope that y'all, those of you that has recently tapped into the Patreon, you actually started to rewatch a lot of the content, including the most recent Stock Club that we did yesterday. That was awesome. We had a phenomenal live stream on After Hours last night. I think we're going to do it again tonight because I got Mika because she going to be in town. So it's always a better energy whenever it is that you got people in town. So that should be awesome. And then last but not least, let me give y'all some updates on Tiege Hanley. So I know y'all seen a recent commercial that I just played, but Tiege Hanley is actually offering 40% off your first order, plus 20% off of life. Not 30, not 20, not 10, 40% off your first order, 20% off of life. The link is down in the description. Run that up. You may not necessarily get the nail kit as one of your free gifts, but you definitely get a free gift as a result of it. So shout out to Tiege Hanley, definitely a sponsor of the show. We love you over here, Tiege. We appreciate you for always holding the show down, especially as one of the show sponsors. Why is Tesla so dead set on trying to get me to take delivery of this Cybertruck? I decided that I did not want to take delivery of the Cybertruck because the car that I actually decided that I wanted to take delivery of, I'm not even going to talk about it because I'm leaving some parts of my life private, a little bit more private nowadays. But they are absolutely dead set on selling me this Cybertruck and forcing me to take delivery. Nah, I don't want it. I mean, it just kind of, the moment just already passed. So I'm just kind of off that right now, all right? What up, though? What up, friends and family? Eric Daniels said 2K is growing on you. 2K is dope. 2K is dope. All of the people that's on my platform, shout out to Fi Brown. Shout out to everybody that's rocking out. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. What's up, McCole? McCole is in the building. Azriel, I see you. My dog, Kojak. Make sure y'all go and subscribe to Kojak's channel. Larry Walker, what up, what up, what up, what up to all of my friends and family. I got a full show lined up for y'all today. We can probably expedite the process. I think we're going to wind up doing after hours again tonight and after hours on Saturday. You know what I was thinking about before we get into the show? I'm strongly considering taking a flight over to Vegas. Like on Sunday or Monday. Maybe not Monday because I got a live stream Monday night. But what if I just called I just need some time to just be by myself. Do you guys have the availability to be able to do something like that? Do y'all? In y'all relationships and stuff? We'll get into it. We'll talk about it tonight on After Hours. Make sure y'all tapped in on After Hours. If y'all have not, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. And I love you guys. I do. I love you guys. So if y'all are not tapped in, I appreciate y'all. Let's go a little bit throwback. Let me know where y'all tapping in from. What up? What up, Next Level? What up, K Cooper, all of my friends? Let me know what city y'all tapping in from. Let's go old school before we get started with the show. Let me read some of the super chats. And Michael, shout out to Michael. I appreciate you for holding me down. Also, my dog, Mike That Dude on Cash App. What up, though? Billy Goat in the building. Shout out to you. Ollie Collins. I appreciate you, Ollie Collins. Shout out to Ollie Collins. Larry Walker came through and said last night After Hours was hilarious. Man, y'all need to really tap in on these platforms. We are running it up. Shout out to Larry. I appreciate you, big dog. Also, Antonio Watkins says, for the real Chaser's birthday, shout out to Antonio Watkins. Yo, happy birthday, my friend. I love you. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to you. Jamal Fowler says, peace. I just want to personally thank you and the Bag Chasers for the blessing yesterday. Thanks to everybody for showing love. You my brother. You my brother. Shout out to you and shout out to Antonio Watkins. Yes. Manders 3026 says, today is payday, so I wanted to sprinkle you with a little love. Shout out to my snow bunnies out here in these streets. Mandy. I'm not calling you Manders. You my Mandy. You my Mandy. Yeah, you my Mandy. What up, Mandy? Shout out to you sprinkling me with a little bit of love. I appreciate you, baby girl. Absolutely. All right, so let me see where y'all checking in from. Let me see where y'all at. Where y'all at out here in these streets? Let's see where my people checking in from. What up, Purple Haze? What up? Let me see. Let me scroll down. San Antonio, Texas. What up? Detroit, says my dog Kojak. Jamaica, New York, Michigan, Miami, Dunwoody, GA. Where's Dunwoody? I ain't never been there. Orlando, Elk Grove, California, DMV, Naptown, Philly, Dallas, Texas. What up? Shout out to the distinguished gentleman for the 17-year anniversary. Yes. Chicago, San Antonio, Connecticut, West Palm Beach, Houston, Texas, Novi, Michigan, Greensboro, Boston, Massachusetts, Spokane, Washington, Atlanta, ATL shouted, DMV. Dago is in the house. Tulsa is in the building. St. Louis, Hesperia, Huntsville, Alabama says roll tide. Harrisburg, PA, New York City, Pittsburgh, Chicago, Maryland, London, UK. Shout out to my London people out there in the streets. New Jersey, Victorville, Chicago, Orlando, Chesapeake, Maryland, San Diego, Colorado. What up, K. Cooper? ATL, Durban, San Diego, Duval, McAllen, Texas, Duval County, Brooklyn, Savannah, Winston-Salem, New Orleans, Nashville, Buckeye, Arizona, Harrisburg, PA, Nashville, Jackson, Mississippi, Wilson, North Carolina. What up, though? Out here in these streets, man. Vero Beach, Florida, Pittsburgh, Longview, Maryland, Mumford, Alabama, Atlanta, Riverdale. JT said that he's unsubscribing. Thank you, my friend, for announcing your departure from the Millionaire Morning Show, because for every one that we lose, we gain about 2,000 more. And shout out to the chasers. Shout out to my bag chasers. Link is in the description as well as to the top of the chat. Let me read some more of these super chats before we get up out of here and start with the show. Timeout said, what up, though? Appreciate your time out, holding it down, making sure that Time Dog is getting to the money. Jay Johnson, I appreciate you, says good morning. Blessings to the chat. Blessings to UAD. Thank you for the stock club again yesterday. I wish I could have gone longer, but I understand you're busy taping in LA. Thank you. No, thank you for doing the thing that's in your own best interest, big dog. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. It's lit, man. JP says Kendrick came out back to back. We need that review. Shout out to JP. I appreciate you for holding me down. Mr. Lot says, the content has kept me sane during a crazy busy week. Thank you, bro. Salute to the chaser. He came with a 100 ball, too. Let me give him another round of applause. Mr. Lot be out here running it up. Don't let these hoes stress you out, because they may be for the streets, man. Shout out to Mr. Lot. Shout out to my guy. I'm always going to show up for y'all. I'm always going to be here for y'all. It don't matter if I'm in Detroit or if I'm in Las Vegas. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm definitely looking at some flights. First class, of course. What up, though? What's up, all of my friends and family? Again, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Y'all are absolutely, look at this. Somebody just replaced the person that just unsubscribed. You see how that works? You see how when you announce your departure, you just basically signed up your replacement. That's what God do for us over here. When you announce your departure, you sign up your replacement. So that's why you should just leave silently, because all you're doing is asking for other people to come in and take your place. Shout out to Soul Man for real. Wasn't it a group that was called Soul for Real? Candy Coated Raindrops. Y'all remember that? Yeah, let's get to it. Listen, the best day to sign up for the Patreon is in the beginning of the month. Make sure y'all holding it down. We're going to get to it. All right. So before Mika flies in, and then I got to go and make sure that she get back and forth to where she need to be safely, because every person that comes in, man or woman, is basically taken care of here in Metro Detroit, because we always got to make sure that these people is taken care of. All right. Let's go ahead and get into the show. So how about we just get into quick hits, y'all? Y'all ready for that? Quick hits. Let's get it. Quick hits is a segment of the show that we don't necessarily think that we have to bring in all of the insight and information and dedicate one certain segment to it, but we definitely want to keep you guys informed on what's going on out in these streets, man. So first and foremost, additional charges has been filed against the man that is suspected. That's what they got to use as the terms, but you know, we on the Millionaire Morning Show, so we're going to say what we want to say. The cop killer. Additional charges has been filed in order to make sure that they throw him under the jail for the rest of his life. Take a look.
And as we mentioned, there are now additional charges against Xavier Tate Jr., this new mugshot from police.
Our Sabrina Franza joins us now with new details in the case against him. Sabrina?
Joe, Erica, the Cook County State's Attorney's Office, which is just behind me, just charged Xavier Tate Jr. with first-degree murder, vehicular hijacking, and possession of a stolen firearm. This news means some closure for Officer Weska's friends, family, and brothers and sisters in blue. After a days-long manhunt, police say Xavier Tate Jr. is in their custody. The arrest warrant, signed and entered just a few days ago, lists the complainant, a detective filed for police officer Luis Weska. 22-year-old Tate was taken into custody in west suburban Glendale Heights. We're told he was hiding in a second-floor apartment and that police used Weska's handcuffs symbolically to arrest him. Tate had previously been arrested on March 6th, charged with criminal trespass in Olympia Fields. He'd also been charged for obstructing.
Wipe that tough look off of your face, boy. You going to jail for the rest of your life and you ain't never getting out.
A police officer twice, both times in Kane County, once in February, another time June of last year. His relative, Cassius Tate, was arrested a few days ago and accused of throwing Officer Weska's stolen gun over a fence outside his home in Morgan Park.
The interesting to see at this point is whether or not anyone else is going to be charged for helping him.
Irv Miller.
That's what they really trying to figure out. I'm telling you, listen, you out there and you do something against the cop, I'm surprised that you even made it in there to be able to get charged and go to prison in the first place, and that they even want to give you 3 hots and a cot. Real talk. And so now the question isn't necessarily, about whether or not he's going to get charged or whether he's going to go up under the jail for the rest of his life. Now they just trying to figure out if they can charge other people for aiding and abetting a fugitive. Any girlfriend, any friend, any mama, daddy, they coming for you. They gonna try to figure out how they can charge everybody that harbored this dude, that knew where he was, that didn't tell the police and call and say where he is, because they not messing around, bro.
CBS 2 legal analyst.
You would be facing criminal charges if you have assisted that person in keeping quiet and concealing that person.
On Monday, Officer Weska's friends and family hoped for this arrest.
I'm impatiently waiting for justice, and I will not feel any sense of closure until then.
In an email sent to his officer, Chicago Police Superintendent Larry Snelling expressed his gratitude, saying in part, quote, "Our detectives and law enforcement partners have worked tirelessly to find and arrest this offender. They did this for our fallen brother, Officer Weska, and to make sure his killer would not put another family through what the Weska family is enduring."
My only problem with this, and we're going to get to this in a minute, my only problem with this whole situation is, wouldn't it be awesome if not only the police officers had the support from the community, which would make it easier for them to be able to rid your streets of crime? Wouldn't it be awesome also if they put the same level of energy into every single person? Shout out to Meet Lank. I just seen you sign up for the Patreon. We appreciate you, big dog. Congratulations and welcome to the crew. Wouldn't it be awesome if they put the same level of vigor and work into securing all criminals and dedicating themselves to this point? I think that they would. I think that they could. I think if we gave them the support and we actually supported police officers, you would see a change. You would see criminals getting locked up and off the street, and they would be more incentivized to do the thing that's in your best interest instead of y'all saying defund the police. Interesting, but we're going to go ahead and move on. So in addition to that, too, and I told y'all, and I said that I was going to start bringing visibility to this because nobody wants to talk about it, but everybody wants to talk about what happens to them. 2 more police officers over in San Jose was shot after a shootout. Check it out.
Let's get right to that breaking news. Today in the Bay's Ginger Harris-Saab. She's live for us at Regional Medical Center. This is where one of those officers is fighting for their life.
Bob Riddell is live at the scene where the shots were fired. Bob, have you learned anything about what happened before this?
We know that San Jose police were responding to a disturbance here at the Extended Stay America behind me here on San Ignacio Avenue. This was around 10:30 last night. This is something that the police department has put out on social media, and we are expecting to hopefully get more information from them during our news conference later today. But as they were responding to this disturbance, there was a man they made contact with, and according to police, this man shot 2 police officers. Officers returned fire and they hit that man. The two officers were taken to the hospital. Fortunately, one has been released. Ginger will have an update on that. The suspect also taken to the hospital, and we're going to hear from Ginger on his condition as well. But as you can see behind me, there's a large police presence here at the Extended Stay America. There was actually two hotel guests who were just escorted off property, and I was trying to get some information from them, but it doesn't sound like they know much about what happened, except that they did hear some noise. Reporting live here in San Jose, Bob Riddell, Today in the Bay.
All right, Bob, thank you.
All right, let's go to Today in the Bay's Ginger Conera-Saab. As Bob mentioned, Ginger, you have some information about the officers' conditions this morning. You're live at Regional Medical Center.
That's right, Chris. You can see the emergency room behind me at a distance. We've actually seen several cop cars come in and out as we've been here this morning. We don't know if that in and out has anything to do with the story that we are reported on, but there are several cop cars that have been here as we have been here as well. Now, this is where we believe one officer and the suspect were transported. San Jose police confirming that one officer was brought to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. That officer has since stabilized but does remain in critical condition. We're going to give you a live look at Valley Medical, also here in San Jose. Police confirming that earlier this morning, another officer was transported to a local hospital with moderate injuries. As Bob mentioned, that officer has been released from the hospital. He was treated and was able to be released. Now, the suspect, as I mentioned, we believe brought here to Regional Medical. This is video from earlier this morning, and San Jose police say the suspect has stabilized as well, but does remain in critical condition. I know Bob mentioned later that the police will have, or San Jose police will have an update, will have a presser. That is really when we expect to learn more about how these people got injured. We will bring you those updates as soon as we get them. But
yo, it's rough out here for police officers. It really is. And again, we got to make sure that we hold them up, that we acknowledge them, that we show them love, because they are under attack, they're under assault, and criminals have no kind of regard for human life, regardless of what the uniform is that you're wearing. They're still husbands, they're still people, you know what I'm saying, that's out here serving the public, and they're the people that you call first whenever you under duress or you having a problem. So, yeah, man, San Jose, 2 more police officers. It's basically happening every day in which you see police officers getting injured. And then last but not least, Riverside police arrest around 100 suspected homeless people in a drug raid. Check it out.
Well, keeping Riverside safe, it's a major drug bust in the city, and police arrested more than 100 people in a 3-day sting.
Investigators say some of them were drug dealers while others were thieves. KCAL News reporter Nicole Comstock live in Riverside with the details. Nicole?
Business owners we spoke with tonight say crime is out of control in their communities, and they're thankful that police are trying to do something about it to help them. But at the same time, they realize that this is a very complicated issue and say they have compassion for people who are struggling out on the streets. There's a new buzzer on the front door at the Camp Transformation Center in Riverside, after the gym says a homeless man brought all his belongings inside, refused to leave, and turned violent.
He did punch me in the face in the lobby, and then when we went outside, he proceeded to pull out a knife and threatened to poke me multiple times.
Eric Salgado owns the gym. He's one of many small business owners along the Magnolia Corridor in Riverside who've made complaints to police about an increase in crime. The Northgate Market says shoplifting has been out of control for years.
We did upgrade our security as well. We have morning and afternoon as well now, just to keep the area safe.
Riverside police are trying to keep everyone safe too. They just arrested over 100 people here in a 3-day sting called Operation Street Sweeper. 44 people were arrested for selling narcotics like meth.
Whoa, hold on, wait a minute. Let me put some police officer in it. Nah, I'm always one for making sure that, you know, you got to see the front just as much as you see the back. Oh, man. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. Listen. We all people, right? Our eyes work, right? I think that she did this on purpose. Look how tight them pants are. Jesus Christ. How am I supposed to be able to effectively do my job when the cameraman is doing his job so successfully? That's all I'm saying is, ladies, y'all got competition. Y'all got competition. Y'all want to know? Shout out to my snow bunnies out here. Shout out to the snow bunnies out here. No BBLs, all squats, getting to it, taking care of business, putting pressure out on y'all. King Stennis, I don't know what you walked into. I walked into it too. I was just listening to the report. And next thing you know, I see this. I got to keep going. Hold on. Let me just focus, y'all. Focus. I'm on it. I'm on it, Azriel. I'm on it, Nicole. I'm on it, Tia Marie. I'm taking care of business. I'm on it. Shout out to Molly. I'm on it. I'm going to get to it.
And fentanyl. Other violations included petty theft, trespassing, and public intoxication.
Probably 90% of them are not in custody right now because they were nonviolent felons. So that's the battle.
Riverside Police Chief Larry Gonzalez says state laws like Prop 47 and 57 have made it much harder for police to do their jobs and minimize jail time, allowing people out committing crimes to fall deeper into.
Somebody said, "Where is your wife?" Going out to talk to the neighbors in order to get a trench digged up in the back so we can run electricity to some houses that we built. Listen, my chick is doing her job. Don't worry about what we got over here. We focus on Becky with the good glutes. All right?
To addiction and homelessness. He says most of the people they just arrested were homeless, struggling with substance abuse issues.
Ladies, look at that's why I love you. I love you. Hold these women in the chat accountable. Ladies, let Mr. Anton Daniels have his moments. Just let him do his thing. Let me get what I need in order to continue to give y'all all of what y'all need on a Millionaire Morning. Y'all don't want me to have no kind of inspiration? I already ain't got nobody in here right now. Y'all want me to have no kind of inspiration? Talk to them, sis. That's why I love you. These ladies ain't getting it. They don't get it.
It would be nice to have that choice to where, hey, it's either rehab or you're going to spend time in jail. Either way, you're going to try to fix yourself or help yourself before you go back out to society.
These business owners couldn't agree more.
I want to find a peaceful solution to the situation, but at the same time, I don't want my clients' health or safety to be at risk.
This is
ooh, she kind of cute too. Usually basically what's happening is they doing this drugs thing, but a lot of these very people that's doing all of the theft and everything like that, let me call this girl. This girl is so extra.
Hello.
Hey, I'm on a live stream.
Hey, what's up?
Why you don't want to talk to him?
Because you have a better relationship with them.
All you got to do is knock on the door and tell them what you want to do.
I know, honey, but I just feel like because this is a big decision and you have a better relationship with them, like I've literally only seen them like just waving in the car. Like I've never talked to them, met them, like you spoke to them numerous times. So I think that it would probably be better coming from you.
So you want me to drive all the way back out there? Because I don't have their phone number.
Well, I mean, it don't have to be done today. You can do it tomorrow because I can't, we can't do anything with DTE until Monday anyway.
All right, I'll talk to him.
Okay.
Bye. She doing her job. Y'all so worried about Becky with the glutes. Let's see if we can get that one more time before we move over to the next story. Let's see what we got going on out here. There she is. Shout out to her. Shout out to the police officers doing their job, making sure they're rounding up everybody that's doing the wrong thing. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your quick hits, all right? That's your quick hits, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on with the show. We got a lot to cover today, all right? Let me go ahead and read this super chat, and then we're going to go ahead and continue on with the show. Wendell Kilgore says, hope your week was fire. I appreciate you from after hours on Wednesday night preaching to on Wednesday night preaching. I needed to hear it. Time to pull up my big boy draws and keep pushing. God bless you, big dog. Shout out to you, Wendell. Wendell Kilgore, that is, to be exact. Shout out to everybody that support the platform. Again, if you guys are not a part of the Patreon, link is in the description. And let's get to it. All right. We got to focus. We focus. And what are we about to focus on? The first thing that we're going to do, because we got a lot to cover today, so I'm going to try to get to it. The first thing that we got to get to is the money. Anton, what do you mean? We always start off with the crime. We always start off with the problems. Well, no. The first thing that I want to do is get to the money, because why can't we combine crime, money, politics, all in the same segment? All in the same segment. Did you know there are Chicago police officers that make over $250,000 a year based off of overtime? You didn't know that, did you? You're just now finding that out for the first time, but I'm telling you that a lot of times we say that these guys are underpaid, and I still think that they are. However, I want to present to you the possibilities of what your life could be and what you can really be making. You could be driving a Lambo and be a police officer. How? Work for Chicago. They always got crime. And the mayor refuses to staff effectively, which then puts a shortage and allows for everybody else to be able to get the bag. I loved when I used to work for places like the steel mill where they had understaffing or people would quit, because I was thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm about to make way more money. I'm going to read that super chat shortly, my dog. Slant sells cars. I'm going to make way more money. But I'm curious as to what you guys think. Let's go through, because they're telling me that there are dozens of officers. And when I say dozens, I mean dozens of officers that's making over six figures. Let's talk about it.
CBS 2 is always investigating, and we wanted to know, is it possible to make more than $200,000 in overtime in 1 year?
If you're a City of Chicago employee, it is. CBS 2 got a first look at some soon-to-be-released data about city employees and overtime.
CBS 2's Suzanne Lemonnier has the story you'll see only on 2.
Data from the Office of Budget and Management shows last year there were dozens of city employees making more than $100,000 in overtime. In one department, just 2 employees took home a combined total of nearly $500,000.
Wait, let's take that in for a second. And I want y'all to consider how dangerous the job is, because a lot of us say, hey man, these police officers, they're underpaid, they should be making more. Firefighters, all of these first responders, okay, they get into it. Here's my question. How much is enough? How much is enough? What's the number that police officers should be making? Is it okay with paying them $500,000 a year? Between the two of them, $250,000 each, almost. Auto workers make it. Why not police officers? They giving it over to the migrant crisis. Why not police officers? All right, let's get to it.
Overtime. The CBS 2 investigators analyzed more than 1 million rows of soon-to-be-released data from the city's Office of Budget and Management. It shows 5 key city departments relied on overtime the most. We looked at overtime in the police, fire, and water departments, along with streets and sanitation and the Department of Assets, Information, and Services. Nearly 100 city employees earned more than $100,000 just in overtime last year.
Over 93 employees earned over 100 bands each just off overtime. And it ain't never going to be no shortage. Wow. almost 100 employees and police officers got over 100 bans. I ain't mad at them. Let me give them a round of applause. You might as well go ahead and get them. If they're going to take the taxpayers' money, they might as well give it to the police officers who don't even know if they're going to come home the next day, then give it over to the migrant crisis. Go ahead, everybody finesse in Chicago. Why not my beloved police officers too?
Here in 3 of those departments. 2 fire department employees fall into this category. A fire department spokesperson told us overtime earned was due to the need to fill staff vacancies. In the water department, 5 employees earned more than $100,000 each in overtime in 2023.
Hold on 1 second. Now, do you guys see the problem when it comes to not being able to manage effectively? Because when you're understaffed, it doesn't mean that you're not going to pay more for services. So, for example, we talked about New York City all year, this year and last year, about the fact that they said that they got to make budget cuts. Budget cuts meaning that, okay, well, we're going to minimize the amount of police officers and the amount of money that we're going to send over into the schools, or, you know, we're not going to continue to hire in more people. Well, guess what? You still have needs. And so instead of you learning how to manage the budget more effectively, what you basically do is you overpay for the same thing that you would have been paying for at a minimum rate. So now you're giving them overtime, double time, you know what I'm saying, time and a half, probably on holidays that union negotiated for them to get triple time and stuff. And so you're overpaying for something that you should have adequately staffed. When you don't operate based off of structure, meeting successful staff levels, making sure that people get what it is that they deserve and they earn, what you wind up doing is you wind up overpaying for the same thing that you would have got, but you got a more tired police officer, not happy, people not feeling cool, and so they still got to fill these staff. So when you see a lot of these places and a lot of these governments say, oh, well, we got to cut the budget or we got to take some money away, really they just going to pay more money because they don't know how to manage effectively. So that's really what's happening.
In a statement to us, the Water Department also said vacancies, regular time off, and absenteeism are the drivers of overtime.
$100,000 or more in overtime, that should be a never, ever, ever situation, period.
Cap. It's always going to happen. Always.
We asked Joe Ferguson, the president of the Civic Federation and former inspector general for the city of Chicago under 3 mayors, to weigh in on these findings.
And that is a, to mix metaphors, screaming red flag that something internally is not being tracked and monitored and addressed, because it simply should not happen.
The data shows 85 sworn Chicago Police Department members, the largest department, made more than $100,000 in overtime last year.
They must be a part of the bag chasers. Shout out to my Chicagoans, especially the police officers running up a check. Yeah, he did say period, didn't he? He said period. Period, Pooh. Shout out to my police officers over there in Chicago getting that bag, running it up, making sure that they can go and get their Lambos too.
Year, 2 of them made more than double that. One member made more than $250,000, while another had about $230,000. That's
oh man. Hey, shout out to the person on the left, and then he went ahead and took the person on the right under their wing and said, man, listen, bro, if we gonna be here, if we gonna have migrants all up in the police station, if we ain't gonna have no shot spotter, if we just gonna have criminals running rampant and it's a possibility for us to lose our life, we might as well run up a bag. We might as well go and get that bag. Shout out to the police officers getting a quarter. Who knew that a police officer in Chicago could make $250,000 per year? Sheesh.
It's almost $500,000 in overtime alone for just 2 police department employees in 1 year.
This person unquestionably worked all of the time to result in pay at that level. It's his supervisors, it's the department, It's their systems that have failed here.
In response to this story, the Chicago Police Department issued a statement that says, in part, overtime has been used to help maintain public safety during a police officer shortage. As we work to fill these vacancies, we must also ensure there are sufficient resources citywide to respond to critical incidents, emergencies, and large gatherings that require additional police attention.
Shout out to the large gatherings. Hey, y'all know that that's a Brandon Johnson term, right? He said, listen, don't call them criminals. Don't say that they rioting. Don't say that they're illegally protesting. Don't call it a migrant crisis. Don't say that it's crime happening and it's gang members. Listen, we got to have our police officers sufficiently staffed so that they can deal with these emergencies and large gatherings. I think that they put that in there to troll. Large gatherings that require additional police attention. Shout out to y'all. Get that bag. I ain't tripping. Go get that bag, bro.
Emergencies and large gatherings that require additional police attention. So what is the city's solution to massive overtime? Ferguson says there should be overtime levels in place and a staffing analysis needs to be done in these city departments.
It doesn't mean these people aren't working hard. It means that we're not working well and the taxpayers are not being well served in all of this. That's the responsibility of the fifth floor. That's the responsibility of the mayor's office.
We did reach out to the mayor's office for comment on this story, in particular, asking about the over $200 million in police overtime, which was more than double the budgeted amount for 2023.
And this is what I was trying to tell y'all. $100 million was budgeted in overtime, apparently, or less than that, but they have over 200 million. Now they'll sit there and say, well, we don't have any more money for police. We ain't got no shot spotter money. We got to take this out. We got to take this out. Well, now you're going to pay more than $100 million more than what you budgeted for. So how do you effectively manage a budget that's always over in every single thing that you do, whether it got to do with the migrant crisis, police officers, firefighters, city services, water department, mayors, they gave themselves raises. Everybody is getting to the bag. Listen, they are stealing y'all blind. For all of my constituents and all of my people that are taxpayers, and I ain't mad at the police officers for getting they due too, but let me tell y'all something. Everybody is robbing the city blind, and eventually it's going to collapse. It may not necessarily collapse during his administration, so now they can kick the can down the road, but the reality is that somebody got to pay the piper. And you can only borrow so much money. You can only raise property taxes up so much before the people start to revolt because they can't afford to live in a city that is not even adequately staffed or protected for you to be able to do your everyday duties. You can't go to the grocery store. You can't walk your dog at night. You can't go and visit your side chick. You can't catch an Uber. Uber drivers is under duress. You can't go to the store on the Miracle Mile because they got a 30% vacancy rate on some parts of the strip. You can't do nothing. You know what you can do? Sit there and work and then continue to let them spend your money frivolously because they do not know how to manage a city budget effectively. That is basically what's happening. You guys are under duress because of the ignorance and the stupidity of your legislators that don't even know how to run anything, let alone their own finances or a city budget. Absolutely. Somebody says side chick. Yeah, people be going out to see their side chick. Let that man cheat in peace. He going to see his chick. Do that mean that he's supposed to have his life taken away? No, absolutely not. Should we hold him accountable if he call into the Anton Daniels channel on Wednesday and say, Anton, this is what my circumstance is? 100%. But at the same time, police still got to keep him safe. Police still got to keep him safe. So listen, this is your tax dollars at work. I should just do a whole segment almost every day or every week or at a different time. These are your tax dollars at work. And then I could just show the frivolous spending. You know, we can pull all of this information from the Freedom of Information Act, right? All of the government spending, all of the salaries, how it is that they budget, what they really spending their money on. It takes nothing but a Freedom of Information Act request for us to find out what's happening. That's how the news found out what's happening. We just reacted to it. So be careful, man. Be careful. Run up the bag. Be careful who you tell that you're running up the bag, because then they're going to start doing research and investigation and see who over there sleeping on the job and getting paid double time and time and a half on Sundays. You know what I'm saying? Yes, everybody. The mayor, police officers is making more than the mayor. Now, you know something got to be wrong when you got that type of situation. Anyways, let me continue in with the show because we got more to cover and we got more things that we got to get into. Let me read some of these super chats and then I'm going to get to y'all. Slan Sales Car says they mad that big booty Pecky is about to get another NFL brother. That lady was looking crazy out here in these streets. She probably got a toxic personality, though. We don't know. Glow, what up to my dog, Big Glow? Says, don't worry, that's the most prized officer, Officer Snow Thickums. Big Glow Hefner taught her well. You can tell those buns are well secured. Shout out to you, Big Glow. Yeah, Glow. Chris Moore says, the county jail also makes 6 figures. That's a fact. Getting to that bag. Bosef Bostar says, we need to tell those employees to join Stock Club. Shout out to you, big dog. I appreciate you. Chase Barnes says, money well spent and earned. Crime fighters united. Shout out to Chase Barnes. I appreciate you. D-Trix619 says, police officers say no fumble on a Friday. Hashtag no fumble on a Friday. Shout out to my police officers, especially over there in Chicago, running it up. But we're not done with Chicago because I laid off of Chicago for a little while because I wanted to give y'all a reprieve because y'all had some tragedy strike within the last week. But I want to talk about it and I want to come back to it really quickly. I just want to come back to it. Now, what would cause a man to run from reporters? You know, we talk about the crime and we talk about the issues that's happening within the society on a regular basis. And you always try to figure out what the heck is going on and why is this happening, especially in my city, especially for a lot of y'all that's over in Chicago, Illinois, Metro Chicago area, LA, all of these places. But what would cause a mayor to avoid reporters? I mean, to just completely avoid reporters. If you had to guess, what do you think that looks like? Before we get to the running part, let me give y'all an up-to-date report on what's happening in Chicago outside of the killings.
A new warning this morning about a series of car break-ins on the Northwest Side. But thieves aren't hitting just any cars. They're targeting law enforcement vehicles. CBS 2's Marissa Perlman is live in Norwood Park, where some of these break-ins happened. Good morning, Marissa.
Good morning to you, Maria. What's interesting here is that police say that these suspects are targeting both marked and unmarked police vehicles. We spoke with a police officer who lives in the Norwood Park neighborhood right here. He says he woke up yesterday morning, walked outside to take his kids to school, and saw that his own police cruiser had the windows completely broken out. This is happening in 3 different neighborhoods, 3 different times since Sunday. Forest Glen, Norwood Park, and Edison Park. At least 2 of these crimes are believed to have happened in the overnight hours. Again, this all happening in residential neighborhoods on the Northwest Side. Police say a dark-colored SUV pulls up to a parked car. The suspect breaks the window and takes whatever is inside the passenger compartment and trunk. It's not clear exactly what was taken from the cars. In this Norwood Park case, though, we're told the suspects didn't make off with anything. Now, we have asked police what kind of law enforcement vehicles exactly are being targeted, but police would not specify whether that's police cruisers specifically. But they are putting this warning out to the community, asking anyone with information to call Area 5 detectives. We're live in Norwood Park. Marissa Perlman, CBS 2 News.
So the criminals have gotten so brazen and they care so little about law enforcement, rules, regulations, all of that, that they feel comfortable and compelled to even break into police cars. Chicago, y'all a whole nother type of person over there. Let me give a round of applause for the criminals over there that don't have no respect for law enforcement. The criminals have become so brazen in Chicago that they regularly target and have no respect for even the police. They target the police vehicles. They break into those. That's crazy. That's absolutely insane, if you ask me. Now, never want to leave a good opportunity behind to make sure that everybody is taken care of and everybody is held down. Brandon Johnson said, listen, guys, we want to make sure that low-income families, aka people that don't go to work every day, is still taken care of. And what they're going to do is relaunch a guaranteed income program that allows for you to be able to get free monies the same way that the migrants do. Check it out.
Developing now, 4 years after the start of the COVID pandemic, many are still feeling the impact.
Mayor Johnson is restarting a program. There we are. Mayor Johnson restarting a program.
Oh, man. God bless all of these shows and these newscasts. Y'all might as well just go ahead and give me my $30 million and let me do the whole thing. I got it. We can shoot it right here in Detroit, act like we're in Chicago, simulcast it, have it go over to all of the different places, and then make sure that we run up a bag over there. Give me my $30 million. Look at this dumb junk. Look at the cameraman. Cameraman is a migrant. Cameraman is an illegal migrant and can't even focus on the reporters. Look at this.
Developing now, 4 years after the start of the COVID pandemic, many are still feeling the impact.
Mayor Johnson is restarting a program. There we are. Mayor Johnson restarting a program that will provide $500 a month to low-income households for 1 year. This is guaranteed income that people can spend however they want. The money comes from the federal COVID funds given to Chicago. We have more now from political reporter Marianne Ahern. Marianne.
Good afternoon to both of you. Yes, the city must spend the remaining COVID dollars or send the money back to the federal government.
Why wouldn't they send the tax dollars back to the federal government? No, they got to figure out a way to get rid of it. They got to figure out a way. These were COVID funds. These are your monies, COVID funds that's supposed to be returned back to the coffers so our federal government can be able to balance the budget effectively and not be able to overspend. No, you know what they did? You know what they did? They said, we're going to give it out to the people.
Low-income Chicago families will soon be able to apply for the second round of the Guaranteed Income Program, providing $500 a month for a year. City Budget Director Annette Guzman.
I think that there are communities that are having to make really difficult decisions about how to keep their families safe, how to keep their families fed, how to keep them clothed.
The city had $374 million in leftover COVID federal funds earmarked for various community projects, with guaranteed income one of them.
People need money. People need money to give back to their local economies, to pay their bills, to support their children, to buy groceries.
University of Chicago senior researcher Dr. Shantae Robinson.
It gives people who are really the least among us in terms of resources a little breathing room.
Alderman Bill Conway wants more oversight and is pushing for city council approval on how the remaining COVID millions are spent.
I think the mayor could have been a heck of a lot more collaborative on this, and my ordinance was really meant to do that, but unfortunately the mayor's allies buried it in the rules committee. We really need to make the CTA safer and cleaner, and that's something we would need to do immediately, and I think should have used some of this money for that.
In the pilot program, the requirements were you had to be 18 years or older, live in Chicago 1 year, economic hardship due to COVID, and the household income had to be below $57,000 for a family of three.
When you can show across the board how programs like this really work to lift up individuals, but also whole communities, it really does go a long way in making the point that this.
Are y'all still catching a vid? Because that's a part of the economic hardship aspect of this whole conversation. It says you got to be 18 or older, reside in Chicago for a year. That's not long. Economic hardship due to C-19. Y'all still catching the vid? And then the household income below $57,000 for a family of three. So now you also got to have a whole bunch of kids. You got to be under duress. You got to be irresponsible. You got to have been affected by something related financially to the vid. And you just got to be over 18 and live in Chicago for a year, and you can get you a free $500 a month because they got to spend the money.
had to be below $57,000 for a family of 3.
When you can show across the board how programs like this really work to lift up individuals, but also whole communities, it really does go a long way in making the point that this is something that should be a permanent feature within our country.
So basically what they want to do is they want to guarantee income, create socialism, and then rob, because you got to pay for it, right? So now they want to rob people that have resources and work their butt off and then force them to give over to people that don't care and is willing to have children out of wedlock. And so you are now taken advantage of instead of being rewarded for your good behavior. This is how backwards the country has become. We have now been rewarding bad behavior on the backs of the people that take care of business every day and do what they're supposed to do. And we basically giving out free money as a result of it. Because it's not free. It's your money. It's your money.
First round 2 years ago, more than 176,000 people applied for just 5,000 slots. The application for this round will be available in the fall. Not just Chicago, other major cities doing this, and they're showing very positive results.
All right.
And I will guarantee you that they're liberal cities just like Chicago. And they don't necessarily care about the people, but they're going to continue to push it up. Now, when reporters ran up to Brandon Johnson, reporters was trying to get a hold of Brandon Johnson in order to ask him some questions about the migrant crisis, about this affordable income that he got. They wanted to question him about what was going on with the police officers, the fallen police officers' family, and whether or not they got closure. And so they was going up to him to ask him some questions, and he decided that he wanted to run.
My God.
Mr. Mayor! Hey, Mayor! Will you please wait? Mayor. Mr. Mayor! Mr. Mayor, why do you have to run from us?
Mayor, we
why
just want to comment about the arrest last night in relation to Officer Weska. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, why would you run from us?
He just ran.
He got up out of there like he was Tiffany Henyard's homegirl. He got up out of there like he was Tiffany Henyard's homegirl. He not answering no questions. He don't want to talk to y'all. He not going to be accountable to y'all. He don't want to give y'all no insight, understanding. He don't want y'all to ask anything outside of what he's media trained to require to talk about. And so they got up out of there. They went out through the back door. All of the reporters was sitting there waiting at the front door. They dipped out of the back door. They jumped inside of the SUV, and he got up out of there. He said, we gone. He said, we gone. You ain't going to see me. I don't want to talk to you. I'm about to go and chill with my family. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Listen. We're not necessarily concerned with, hold on. Because I know that you want to criminalize the decriminalized. The reason why we passed the SAFE T Act. Now, this was largely voted on and supported by all of your legislators inside of the Illinois government, not just here in Chicago. So if you guys are feeling some type of way, make sure you leap at and go and talk to your governor. J.B. Pritzker? Yes. Yeah. Is that the governor of Illinois? Is that the governor of Illinois? Now, I talked to the archdiocese, and they decided that they wanted to send up some prayers on behalf of our youth. You mean the criminals that keep killing cops? No, listen. I understand that this is a situationship that calls for gentle hands to be placed around the family of our fallen police officers. Now, what we did was we respected the family's wishes and not showing up to the funeral because we don't want to politicize this. But it's important for us to tone police our language and make sure that we're not A, criminalizing, B, these are just large gatherings, and C, we want to respect due process, okay? So when we removed ShotSpotter, which was largely the way in which we got identification for Officer Luis, rest in peace to his family, which was largely the way that we got identification for shots fired in that particular area. We understand that we want to remove the budget for that. Now, It doesn't even put a dent in the budget, especially considering that we have over $100 million allocated for overtime for police officers. So they're just going to have to pick up the slack. We're not doing any hiring. We're not doing any of these things, okay? So to answer your question, no, I'm not running. No, I'm not running. I have a meeting that I have to get to over at my elementary school. Shout out to Brandon Johnson. If you guys ever need voiceover work and you're doing a movie and Brandon Johnson don't want to talk, just come and holler at me, man. Give me my $30 million. I'm going to make sure that you guys is taken care of. I know these politicians. Listen, all we got to do is put the Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible mask on. I can go out there. I can talk to the citizens of Chicago, stand there, look at them in their eyes as they plead out for help and ask for some sort of love and help people out here in these streets of Chicago, and I can just sit there and put my hands behind my back, act like I'm not looking at y'all, talk to my friend over here in the corner, and just keep on moving. I know who Mayor Johnson is. You know who Mayor Johnson is. We're the people's mayor. Look at him. He getting about it.
Mayor, why would you run?
And him and Tiffany Henyard both got the same cars, the same security detail, the same amount of staffing, except for Chicago generates billions and Dalton only get $30 million in tax revenue from their residents.
Come on.
He just ran.
He just ran. That is your leadership, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, let's continue on with the show. I got to make sure that I acknowledge the people that contributed to the platform, and then we're going to get it popping, y'all. All right? Let's see. Gregory Johnson says, have you reached out to Mayor Henyard to give her advice? I have. I absolutely have. I've reached out. I had my people contact her people. I had talked to her assistant. The assistant said, I'm going to talk to the mayor and see if I can get her to come and visit you or to talk to you. And next thing you know, I started seeing her do Facebook Lives about me. Or maybe it wasn't about me. Maybe it was about somebody else. I don't know. But she's cooked now, so it don't even matter. I don't want to be nowhere close to her when the FBI come and tackle her. Chase Barnes says, AD, when you do a story about Brandon Johnson antics, you have to do the voice. I listen. You asked, and I delivered. Signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours. Wealth Building Journey says guaranteed income equals guaranteed inflation. That's a fact. That's a fact. Mr. Lotta's in the building says he did that Meek Mill first day out run. That's a fact. A.R. Smitty is in the building says Mayor Gingerbread Man is gone. He gone, y'all. He gone. Shout out to Mayor Johnson. We appreciate you. Thank you for continuing to tap in. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Chris Mayberry came through and says, is it just me or was that mohawk bouncing? Y'all saying that he got a man weave? I don't believe that he got a man weave. I don't believe that Mayor Johnson got a man weave. I think he got a healthy head of hair. And he was getting to it. Shout out to my dog, Mr. Lott. You should soundbite that when somebody quit a stream. He just ran. I'm not running. I'm not running, Mr. Lott. All right, let's continue on with the show. Again, we got a lot that we want to cover. Not just the overtime, not just Brandon Johnson running. We got to get over into these protests really quickly, ladies and gentlemen, because the Biden administration said that they want to directly address anti-Semitism and these protests. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's talk about it.
Outside UCLA's landmark Royce Hall this morning, little remains of the pro-Palestinian protest encampment. Police making more than 200 arrests early Thursday morning after moving in with overwhelming force. Demonstrators, many of them in hard hats and gas masks, appearing to resist.
How do I feel? I've never felt more proud of myself or my community.
In recent weeks, protest action spreading across more than 60 campuses. And yesterday, a scary scene at Portland State University. Video showing a car driving towards a pro-Palestinian protest, the driver then appearing to spray pepper spray toward the crowd.
I'm up here muted. Did y'all see them throwing stuff at the driver? Did y'all see them throwing stuff at the driver? I thought that these were supposed to be peaceful protests. These ain't peaceful protests no more? Now they throwing stuff at the driver? That's crazy, bro. Hold on. Let me back up for a minute.
Palestinians seen it. Protest action spreading across more than 60 campuses. And yesterday, a scary scene at Portland State University.
Wait. Who is this old man with the bad knees? Why is the old man with the bad knees running up on people? He's supposed to be in the house watching After Hours or the Millionaire Morning Show and getting this game. Yo, anybody that's running like that, he running like he got flip-flops on and he got shoes. There's no reason for him to be running after that car.
60 campuses. And yesterday, a scary scene at Portland State.
And he a white man. Hold on.
Action spreading across more than 60 campuses. And yesterday, a scary scene.
That's a whole white man.
At Portland State University. Video showing a car driving towards a pro-Palestinian protest.
And the dude, look. The dude that threw the bottle or whatever, he missed the car and he threw it over there and he hit somebody else in the... See, this is what's wrong with y'all.
University. Video showing a car driving towards a pro-Palestinian protest. The driver then appearing to spray pepper spray toward the crowd. Portland State Police say a man was detained on a mental health hold. Meanwhile, there have been 30 arrests of protesters at Portland State. Police...
Dog, look at what they did to Portland State. They spray painted, they destroyed, destruction of property. Man, this is not peaceful. You know, I actually looked up some stats and I did a little bit of research. Maybe I'll pull up that video shortly. I looked up some stuff and they say that more than half of the people that's arrested doesn't even go to these universities. The majority, though, the majority of the people that is out here causing the chaos, the destruction, that's spray painting, that's destroying these campuses, these are people that are causing anarchy and they just messing up stuff. And they influencing y'all and they incentivizing y'all to do all of this dumb stuff. And they destroying the places where y'all supposed to be learning at. Jesus Christ.
Clearing its graffiti-filled library.
Pull up the library.
Early this morning, across the country, at the epicenter of the protest, demonstrators gathering outside the home of Columbia University's president. Just days after the raid on the school's campus, documented on newly released police body cam footage.
Flashbang over!
Showing police breaking into the occupied Hamilton Hall and going through the protesters' setup, including a board with the slogan, "Political power comes from the barrel of a gun."
Jesus Christ. Hold on. This is insane.
A board with the slogan, "Political power comes from the barrel of a gun."
The countryside surrounds the city. What else it says? Attack when your enemy is weak and you are strong. Good God. What is wrong with these people? Worst is lethal force. Best is breach something. Does this sound peaceful to y'all? Does this sound like people that you want to sit there and have a conversation with, or does this sound like an agenda? This sounds like an agenda to me. This don't sound nothing like a peaceful protest, or they trying to get visibility into an issue, or they trying to have a conversation. This sounds crazy. This literally sounds crazy.
Student activists say the NYPD's response was excessive.
People were nothing but peaceful.
The NYPD chief of patrol defending the police, writing the actions of the protesters were an abject failure of how civilized people are expected to behave in society while continually acting like a perpetual victim. And officials have said outside agitators were among the demonstrators. Of the 282 people arrested at Columbia and the City College of New York, the NYPD and mayor's office say nearly half were not affiliated with those.
Y'all got people coming up in here getting y'all expelled and tearing up y'all school and y'all following behind them. Plants. So stupid.
Schools. By NBC News' count, more than 2,100 arrests have been made nationwide.
And it don't matter if y'all just gonna let them back out on the street without any kind of repercussions.
Now, as the NYPD moves into NYU, there's also a question about who should be paying for all of this, both the law enforcement response and the cleanup. New York Mayor Adams has said he believes Columbia University and other private institutions should be paying for at least some of this. Here at UCLA, which is a public university, there are estimates that just the law enforcement response over the past 2 days alone could be in the multi-millions.
Everybody getting the bag. Everybody running it up. Anyways, let's see what the perspective is towards Biden, because he's finally speaking on this, especially during election season. It's all a distraction.
President Biden's comments on the demonstrations came on short notice and carried some political risk for him, especially among younger voters. Ed O'Keefe is at the White House with more on the politics of these protests. Ed, good morning.
Now, when y'all say that they stormed the Capitol, y'all wanted to hold them accountable, right? I ain't got nothing to say. Let's talk about it.
Sharika, great to see you. Happy Friday. After weeks of saying little about growing protests on college campuses, the White House says President Biden decided to speak out in the wake of more violent clashes with police.
There's the right to protest, but not the right to cause chaos.
President Biden appealing for calm as even more campus protests are cleared amid concerns about violence, vandalism, and the postponement of graduation ceremonies.
There should be no place on any campus, no place in America for anti-Semitism or threats of violence against Jewish students.
A longtime supporter of Israel, the president also pressured its government to ease humanitarian suffering in Gaza amid months of war. But when asked if the protests would lead to changes in U.S. policy, the president said simply,
no.
And that's what upsets so many young protesters, like these students
up,
gathered
Q?
just 4 blocks from the White House.
He's calling for order. If we want to have order, if we want to have peace, we need to end this ongoing genocide.
Biden is pathetic. I think he is a hypocrite, and I do not plan on voting for him, even though I was helping organize for him in 2020.
And that depressed support deeply worries Democrats, who fear lower turnout among younger voters could help former President Donald Trump. The likely Republican nominee this week faulted Biden for not speaking out sooner. He's also been critical of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's handling of the war, but is no fan of ongoing protests. And on Thursday, he thanked police officers for stepping in.
I'm so proud of the New York's finest. They're great people, too. I know so many of them. They're incredible. They did a job at Columbia. And likewise in Los Angeles, they did a really good job at UCLA.
Now, some Republicans have urged the National Guard to be sent in to deal with protesters. When asked about that yesterday, President Biden responded, no.
Well, let's get President Biden's perspective about this whole thing. It's no point in just listening to the reporters. Let's see what he had to say about it.
Thank you. We're going to go live now to Washington, where President Biden is giving his remarks on what we hear is the campus unrest.
Let's peacefully assemble and make their voices heard. The second is the rule of law. Both must be upheld. We are not an authoritarian nation where we silence people or squash dissent. The American people are heard. In fact, peaceful protest is in the best tradition of how Americans respond to consequential issues. But neither are we a lawless country. We are a civil society, and order must prevail. Throughout our history, we've often faced...
I don't like it when people cough like that, because it's not really a covering. Like, the way that you're supposed to do this, or you're supposed to do this. This way or this way. But when I see people do it this way, they're like, you know you're not covering nothing, right? You're not stopping nothing. Even when, and there's nothing worse than people that sneeze in your direction. I could just take your,
Moments like this because we are a big, diverse, free-thinking, and freedom-loving nation. In moments like this, there are always those who rush in to score political points. But this isn't a moment for politics. It's a moment for clarity. So let me be clear. Peaceful protest in America. Violent protest is not protected. Peaceful protest is. It's against the law when violence occurs. Destroying property is not a peaceful protest. It's against the law. Vandalism, trespassing, breaking windows, shutting down campuses, forcing the cancellation of classes and graduations. None of this is a peaceful protest. Threatening people intimidating people, instilling fear in people is not peaceful protest. It's against the law. Dissent is essential to democracy, but dissent must never lead to disorder or to denying the rights of others so students can finish the semester and their college education. Look, it's basically a matter of fairness. It's a matter of what's right. There's the right to protest, but not the right to cause chaos. People have the right to get an education, the right to get a degree, the right to walk across the campus safely without fear of being attacked. But let's be clear about this as well. There should be no place on any campus, no place in America for anti-Semitism or threats of violence against Jewish students. There is no place for hate speech or violence of any kind, whether it's anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, or discrimination against Arab Americans or Palestinian Americans. It's simply wrong. There's no place for racism in America. It's all wrong. It's un-American. I understand people have strong feelings and deep convictions. In America, we respect the right and protect the right for them to express that. But it doesn't mean anything goes. It needs to be done without violence, without destruction, without hate, and within the law. You know, make no mistake, as president, I will always defend free speech, and I will always be just as strong in standing up for the rule of law. That's my responsibility to you, the American people, and my obligation to the Constitution. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, have the protests forced you to reconsider any of the policies with regard to the region?
No. Thank you.
Mr. President, do you think the National Guard should intervene?
No.
He's so old. He's so old. But we got to be objective here, guys. We have to be objective here. And what does that mean? That means that we have to say that we agree with him. He hit every single point on the head. There's nothing that he said that I can disagree with. He said, listen, we're not trying to silence people. We're not an authoritarian country. And it's important for people to be able to utilize their free speech in order to get their rocks off. But you got to do it within the confines of the law. You're not going to be up there disrupting other people. You're not going to do it outside of the bounds of what's legal. And you got to be able to maintain a level of decorum and not interrupt classes or other people. And so I don't disagree with him at all. Not one thing that he said do I disagree with when it comes to protesters and people out here antagonizing the police, and it got to be dealt with 100%. So in a rare occasion that I actually agree with Biden, and I'm objective in that I don't believe that people should be able to just do what they want to do when they want to do it, he hit every single point on the head. But it goes against his constituents and the people that say that they support him in the presidency. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, shout out to that statement and that speech. I agree with it 100%. Let me read a few of these super chats, and then we're going to continue on with the show. What do we have coming up next? Let me see. Migrant money. How migrants are making money. And then we're going to get over into a reaction video of a person. Chris Moore says, LOL, you sound just like that dude. Yep, I know. I've been practicing. I'm working on my speech. Bam Flacco says, most of them actually don't know what they fighting for. They paid ops. Stat sheet stuffer in the building says they will do this, but ask them to join the military? Nah. Nonan says these protests seem too organized to be a natural grassroots movement. It wouldn't be surprised to find out that outside actors instigated these events. Agreed. Agreed 100%. Because all of these people got an agenda. All right, we with it. Okay, so let's talk about migrants. Because I did read in some places that migrants have their ability to be able to work papers, but they still having difficulty finding jobs. Okay, so that's cool. We understand. We got our border czar here, Kamala Harris, Cam, and she's going to break down for us through a narrative of how illegal migrants and people that came under here under the guise of asylum seekers are actually making money out in these streets. So the first place that we want to start it with is the kids. It's the kids, man. They leveraging the kids.
This is another phase of the migrant crisis in New York City. Children exposed to the danger while doing labor that not even an adult is supposed to be doing without the proper permits. The migrants you're about to see agreed to speak to us if we don't reveal their identities. This is the harsh reality of the migrant crisis in New York City. Children in the subway system or on the street, selling snacks, candy, fruits, and beverages. On a sunny spring afternoon, we met a mother with her 7-year-old daughter at the steps of the entrance to the Columbus Circle station. They migrate.
And guess what? How do y'all think that they got those supplies? Y'all think that they got a Sam's Club card? Do y'all think that they got a Sam's Club card? They went over to Costco and went and got them some Pepsis and some candy and some chips, and then they went over to Times Square and started moving at work? Nah. They got that 5-finger discount, boy. Yeah. They said, listen, we aware that you can go over there and steal, and we're going to take care of it. We're going to take care of it, and Mamala wants to heal the whole country. Yep, and so we're going to put the kids to work. We're going to be to work. We're going to take care of business, and we're going to run that bag up. They ain't waiting on y'all. It's multiple different ways to be able to skin a cat, I'm telling you.
Migrated from Ecuador 3 months ago. Mom told me in Spanish that they live in a migrant shelter and that this is the only way they can make some money to send back home. We also
Hold on. Did y'all hear what they said? They didn't say that this is the way that they can make some money in order to be able to survive. They already getting free food. They got debit cards. They got shelters. They got hotel rooms. They have schools, clothing, volunteer services. They got churches. They got every single thing that they need to wait their turn so that they can ultimately be able to work over in New York City. And you know what they said? This is the way that they make money for them to be able to send back home. They over here to get the resources and then drain the resources and send it back to the crib. They telling you in interviews, listen, we out here hustling so that we can get this money and be able to send it back home. They got everything that they need already being supplied by our federal government and our local government. Y'all invited them in. Y'all said, listen, we a sanctuary city. We're going to do what we do. They said, okay, we just need to make a little bit more money so that we can send it back to the crib. They're not keeping it here. They're not living the American dream. They're sending all of that bag back home.
How NYPD officers instructed a mom and her 6-year-old daughter to move away from the steps of Bryant Park, where they were selling water and soda. Even more heartbreaking to see, mothers that are carrying their babies on their backs, putting both of their lives in danger.
If a mom was to leave her child back in the shelter unsupervised, then ACS would really have to come in.
But would that be considered, quote,
oh, Molly, you so sweet. And Brent Morris, I'm going to read those.
First of all, you're not supposed to be panhandling on the subway. So let me say that clearly. You're not supposed to be doing that. Whether or not it's safe, a risk to your child, I think that we would have to make a determination about that, but I don't think we think that that's what's unsafe. What we think that is unsafe sometimes is you see children by themselves, which I think is dangerous for a lot of different reasons, or families and moms in traffic.
I saw that in Ecuador, I saw that in Mexico, I saw that in Colombia. So sometimes people bring their culture and how practices are done into the city.
At the beginning of April, Mayor Eric Adams appointed multiple agencies to tackle this problem. Have you seen any progress?
We worked on palm cards, we worked on flyers, and then we wanted to translate them into Spanish, and then we're distributing them in the subways, above ground. So this week we're going to be starting really with that mass distribution in all of the shelters where new arrival families are, and also our brothers and sisters in school and early childhood centers.
Deputy Mayor Ann Williams-Isom says that over 190,000 migrants have come to New York City since the spring of 2022.
The amount of children that are in the DOE system is about 19,000.
Then there are those that are younger than school-age children, like this 2-year-old Boyd on this corner in Jackson Heights, Queens, while his mother sells fruits. I asked her where and who are you getting the merchandise from? She responded by saying, quote, "A friend referred me to a man but I cannot tell you who that man is.
Are people being exploited? And is there somebody out there who is giving, whether it's water or candy to these folks or fruit in order to do it? I know that the NYPD has been looking into that. We're concerned about trafficking.
Human trafficking is a major concern to Council Member Francisco Moya. Jackson Heights is part of his district.
We have a real epidemic here in this area that truly I believe is the epicenter of where human trafficking is happening.
He says child street vendors have been seen outside of businesses such as bars next to women who are offering erotic massages.
When all is said and done, they bringing these spirits over here. They're bringing their ways, their customs. And when it all fails, guess what they gonna do? Sell that box. When it all falls down, guess what they gonna do? They gonna give a erotic massage right over in New York City, basically the capital of the United States of America. Not DC, not LA, New York City. When all is said and done, drop and give me 50. Drop and give me 50.
We're seeing along Roosevelt Avenue is the decay of our well-being here, our society here. We're seeing open-air prostitution that we've never encountered here in the city of New York.
Do you think the migrant crisis has exacerbated this situation?
It certainly has, and this goes to address the failure of the federal government.
Not walking through New York City with some sandals on and socks, with the sandals with the thing in the middle and the socks with your feet in the middle of it.
The Adams administration continues to share this message.
We want to make sure that people understand children should be in school.
But this mother who sells churros with her 2 sons told me it is easier said than done, a sentiment they all seem to share. Was the city ready for this?
I don't think any city was ready for this.
As far as the situation on Roosevelt Avenue, Council Member Moya told me his priority has been to address this issue, but that other elected officials support what's happening there. He did not elaborate any further.
Republican senators probing food delivery apps like your Uber.
I'm out here muted. I don't know how this keep getting muted, honestly. Anyways, so they out here selling box and they get into it. I didn't say much. I'm about to by next week, because I actually transitioned a lot of my equipment over here. So now I think that at least for the next month or so, I got myself out of the corner, so I'll be able to do here where I got this good view. I'm going to actually move some more equipment, the audio equipment, so that I can ensure that this don't happen again. But we cool. But the only thing that I was basically saying was they get money all kind of ways, and I had a conversation with y'all before about it very much being a possibility. It very much being a possibility that when you get DoorDash, Grubhub, or Uber Eats, especially in any of these sanctuary cities and or in these liberal cities, if you go down to Miami, ain't no black people doing none of that. They're not doing Grubhub, DoorDash, Uber Eats. They're not doing none of that. You don't see no white people doing it. They all on mopeds, and they all making sure that they save money by not having an actual car. They can get through traffic and they're going to get you your stuff immediately and it's going to be hot. Now, I think that the ones down in Miami, I think that they may be Cuban or something like that, or Haitian. The ones in Miami, they get it done. They're going to get you your food fast as hell. The ones up in New York, I don't know nothing about it. I ain't never got any DoorDash from the people over in New York because there's so many different places for you to just go out and be able to experience yourself. But they get money on these apps. And so the natural inclination for the uninformed is to say, well, how are they able to make money on these applications? How are they able to make money when they don't have no ID, they don't have no identification, they don't have no work permit, but they a gig worker? Let me show you how.
Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, whatever you use. Well, those lawmakers demanding answers now on what steps are being taken to prevent migrants from illegally working for those companies, which they say is a big security risk for you when they end up on your doorstep with those deliveries. News Nation's Ryan Bass joining us live with more. Ryan, what are the senators hoping to achieve with this inquiry?
Well, good morning to you, Marky. And look, they basically want to know what steps these big three food delivery service app companies are taking to make sure that these migrants aren't reportedly filling in as delivery drivers here and doing so illegally. This trio of Republican U.S. senators, including Tennessee Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn, they wrote a letter to Uber Eats, Grubhub, and DoorDash demanding more transparency in terms of what they're doing here for security and accountability. Now, this was all sparked by a New York Post report this past September claiming that newly arrived immigrants in New York City are paying current delivery workers to use their accounts to then earn a living.
So basically, I get a moped. All right. So let's say I'm the person that is the supplier. I'm the person that got the good name. It's just like having somebody's good credit, right? And you go and finance them a car. Okay, so this is how they make money, or this is how you make money and they make money, and then they satisfied or they happy as a result of it. I'm the person, I got the good credit, I got the good name, whatever. And so I can sign up with my ID on Uber Eats or whatever. And I can change my name to be in whatever it is that I want it to change it to be inside of the app. Cool. So then I go and get me a migrant, or I go and get me a bunch of different names of people that's not really looking to do no delivery. I take a percentage of the cut. I pay them for it. They pay me. So I take a cut of whatever it is that they delivering. They can keep the tips, and they also keep a percentage of what it is that they make because they're not used to getting nothing anyway. And so I give them a moped, right? I give them a bicycle, especially over there in New York. They over there out there getting it. They learn the system. They don't have to say anything. The only thing that they got to do is go up there and give it to people their food. And that's how they making money. That's how they making money. Everybody is getting paid. Everybody is getting money. It's undercutting people. And now they're making over $20 an hour over in New York just because they never saw for this, but Eric Adams and company made sure that the gig workers was making a bag over there. And that's how they get into it.
There have been 1.7 million migrant encounters at the Mexican and Canadian borders between October 1st and the end of last month. That is according to federal data, with NYC estimating almost 1,000 per day are arriving in the Big Apple. Now, federal law currently requires migrants to wait 180 days to apply for a work permit. Now, Senators Blackburn, Mike Braun of Indiana, and Ted Bund of North Carolina sent letters to each of the food delivery platforms on Thursday. They believe these apps are, quote, being hijacked by illegal immigrants intent on gaming the system. The danger to Americans and specifically consumers using your services is real, they wrote in part. These illegal immigrants are delivering food directly to consumers' doors without ever having undergone a background check and often without even using their real names. Now, News Nation reached out to all three senators for comment. Senator Mike Braun responded to us, placing blame on the Biden administration, saying, quote, we need to close our southern border, and we also need to crack down on opportunities for illegal aliens to find work in the U.S. to remove every incentive to illegally enter our country. Now, Bud, Blackburn, and Braun asked for more info from these companies on their security and accountability measures, and they want to know how many account holders they have already suspended for this alleged activity. Now, we received statements from DoorDash and Grubhub, both stating they have extensive policies to verify account holders' identities and prohibit account sharing or selling, telling us, quote, if we find anyone misrepresenting their identity or granting unauthorized access to an account, they will be removed from the platform, Grubhub told us.
You'll never know.
To be clear, there is no place on the DoorDash platform for those that can't or won't verify their identity, DoorDash said. every Dasher is required to have their own verified account. Now, Marky,
I'll tell you that I'm so used to seeing people come up to my stuff that's named a woman and is really a man. I don't even be caring, bro. I just be like, man, give me my stuff. Give me my food, give me my stuff. I see people all the time. And if you go to any of these cities, you go to New York, I think my last meetup was in New York. You go to New York, you go to Miami, half of these people don't even speak English, bro. And they out there delivering your food and they're going to figure out how to get a bag. They wiping windows, they stealing clothes and selling them on the street. They selling fake bags. They selling cookies and stealing them from McDonald's, and they also delivering your food. So, as long as you make yourself a sanctuary city and we continue to not cover our borders, this is the stuff that you're going to wind up falling into and you're going to have a problem with. Let me continue over with the show because I got one more segment that I want to get into before I let you guys go today. It's been a lazy Friday. It's kind of dreary. It was raining this morning. Kind of look a little crazy out here in these streets. Let me read this super chat and then we're going to go over to the next part of the show. Performance Chip says, being too nice to Biden, unsubsidized. We're not too nice. We just being objective. You know what I'm saying? We're just being objective. All right, let me go ahead and dig into this a little bit. And lately we've been getting a lot of reports of layoffs. Layoffs all week, every day. All right. It's completely different than what you see from your Chicago people, in that the people over there in Chicago, they get into the bag. The police officers, they're making $250,000 a year. They running it up. They're not worried about what nobody else is talking about. And so as a result, everybody is getting to the money, except some of the people that's getting laid off. Now, this guy, I believe that I had seen him on a show like a MSNBC or a Fox News as a report, as one of the people that had been complaining about the fact that Tesla laid him off. And I'm not sure if I think he's over in Texas, but I don't know. We're going to find out. His name is, or he decided to start a YouTube channel. And so his YouTube channel name is Nico Murillo. Nico Murillo. That is his home. He got the for sale sign apparently up on it. He scratched off the numbers, put his 2 Teslas up there, and he's basically saying he's a Tesla worker. He got laid off, and he's basically talking about his experience on the day that he got laid off. I'm interested in seeing it. I want to see what this happened. This actually just came out recently, within the last couple of weeks, and so I want to go ahead and review this. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Also, if you're not a part of the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Before we get to it, I want to recognize a couple of people. First of all, I want to recognize Brent Morris. Says, shout out to your sponsorship. Couple aquaponics on me. Shout out to Brent Morris with the 20 ball. I appreciate you, Brent. And then last but not least, my girl, Molly Oliver, and her drink. She ain't even know it. Molly, you so gorgeous. You so awesome. You have a sweet spirit within you. And you made sure that you looked out for me and you said lunch on me for me and Mrs. Daniels. Thank you, Molly. And let me give Molly that round of applause. Molly, thank you so much. You so awesome. You've always looked out. You always taking care of us. You always looking out for the platform. You are one of the sweetest people that I've seen. And you support us on multiple different platforms. So thank you, Molly. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, and let's get to it.
What is going on, guys? My name is Nico Murillo, and I was previously...
Let me also say that he's been able to run up like 9,000 subscribers on YouTube. So shout out to him for using this as an opportunity to monetize and then create his channel. You always can get, listen, sometimes blessings come out of some of the things that you go through.
A production supervisor at Tesla, and I was recently laid off on April 15th, Monday, and yeah, it was a very shocking and different layoff process than other companies. But first of all, just want to say thank you for everybody that has reached out to me on LinkedIn. When I posted about my layoff process, there was a lot of people that reached out. Let me just read in through the LinkedIn post. So on April 15th, Monday, At 4:30 a.m., I opened my laptop. Account was deactivated. I thought it was another IT problem, so I didn't really think anything of it. So in the morning, I usually commute. My commute starts around 4:30. I had to wake up at 4 o'clock because I live in the Central Valley, and then pretty much from 4:30 all the way till almost 6, I'll get to work. So it's a long commute. So you got a lot of playlists that you can play, listen to a lot of podcasts and all that. So, you know, putting it on autopilot helps out a lot when you drive a Tesla. But at 5 o'clock in the middle of my commute, so I check my emails while on autopilot. So the email.
When y'all create y'all channels or y'all start to become content creators, when you start to record yourself, you'll start to see some of the things that you say and want to change eventually. You know, sometimes you'll hear yourself and you'll be like, man, I don't like the way I sound, or I say this word a lot. He says a lot. And I think that is probably just because he's a newer content creator. And so he's not used to being able to communicate effectively, or he's not used to hearing himself speak. He's only used to talking naturally without having to worry about whether or not it's going to be criticized or not. But he definitely says a lot of times. So we just going to have to get used to that with this, and that has nothing to do with the video itself. However, I just want to point that out for you content creators or people that's not content creators. If you want to learn how to improve your communication skills gradually and over a period of time, record yourself and listen back to what it is that you said to yourself.
Read, unfortunately, as a result, your position has been eliminated by this restructuring. So immediately after that, I was like, is this like real? And then I texted my manager and I was like, hey, what is this? And then he texted me back, everyone got it. We'll get more info later. And that was at 5:05 a.m. So it's kind of like, I was kind of like in the dark of like, hey, what's really going on? And then by the time I parked, so 5:50 a.m. tried to badge in, and the security guard took my badge and told me I was laid off. So by 5:50,
hey, homie got the message. He still went up there and said that he tried to badge in. First is denial, then it's acceptance, and then you have to make adjustments. First is denial, then you accept your fate, and then you got to start making adjustments. Now, a part of that adjustment may be a little bit of crying, it may be a little bit of duress, you may feel some type of way, but obviously he's transitioning well because he started a YouTube channel, and hopefully he's making some profits as a result of it. Make sure y'all go over there and check him out. His name is Nico Murillo.
I was like in my car. Usually I get all my stuff ready of like, you know, my backpack, my water bottle, make sure my laptop's in there, it's charged and all that. You know, your pregame stuff, right? Like when you play for, you know, any type of sport, you make sure all your stuff is together, right? But I was like, this is kind of fishy. Let me try to badge in real quick and see if this thing worked. Like, cause you never know if this thing real or just a weird scam. So, yeah, I tried to badge in, and then this big 6'3", he was like 300 pounds, big, super big guy, and you know, looked like a bouncer. And then he was like, "Hey, let me see your badge." And then he was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, you're part of the layoffs, man. Sorry." And I was like, okay. And then like, I just turned around, and then I had to walk out. And then
we call this the walk of shame, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we do. The walk of shame is you don't really know what to do or how to respond. It's an awkward exchange, whether it be with your manager or security. You don't know whether to be mad or just to keep moving and just get in your car and put your head down. Everybody know that you're getting laid off. You've then just lost your income. And so even though they're used to it because it's a bunch of other people that's going to go through it too, you still got to do that walk of shame. And that walk of shame, it's 1,000 different things that go through your mind when you're walking back to the car. Man, I don't know what I'm going to do, what is going to happen, my bills is due. I shouldn't have went out the other night and tricked off on that chick. Yeah, it's a lot of thoughts that go through your head when you're going through that moment.
It really like hit me when I was in my car because I sat in disbelief like,
see?
This is real. And then as time went on, like a few more minutes, it was like hitting
then you
me.
get mad and you be like, man, they could have told me this before I left for work, and I done drove all the way out here, and you start being in denial.
Really hard. And then I got out of my car and just I looked left and right, and I was just like, damn, this is like, I spent 5 years here. Like, this was a long time. And so, yeah.
Green Mile. Got another one walking down the Green Mile. Yes, sir. Yes, sirree. Got a Green Mile. Taking that walk of shame, bro. I'm telling you, it's something else. Fellas, if you never did the walk of shame before, pray that you never have to. It actually builds good character.
I camped in that parking lot like for a whole year in 2023. And it was tough because, the whole situation with camping in the Model Y, it's pretty cool. You pretty much get the whole back seats to lay down, and then like you could put a whole bed back here. That's what I did. And I pretty much had everything laid out here, the bed, the pillows, and all that. To go to the bathroom though was really hard. I had to go use the restrooms in the middle of the night inside the factory, so I got to badge in, use the bathroom, and come back. That was kind of annoying. And also had to take showers at the facility, which then required me at the end of the shift. I would go eat in the break room, microwave my dinner, and then I would go I would go here in my car, get all my stuff, go back in the facility, shower. And some events, sometimes you forget your towel, or you forget your toothbrush, or you forget your toothpaste, or you forget deodorant, and you gotta make trip all the way back, and that thing sucks. But it did help me get a full 7 to 7.5 hours of sleep, which was very nice, versus take an hour and a half commute back home, which then you have to do it again to come back to work. So that's why I didn't want to do that during 2023.
Jesus.
And I just camped in my car and said, you know what?
3 hours.
Like, I don't want to do the whole driving, total of 3 hours basically.
Yep.
Because hour and a half to go from home to work, and then from work to home.
It got to be in California.
Total of like 3 hours. So I was like, just camp in the car, see how it works. And so, yeah, that's what I did. I worked the alternate work schedule, which was 6:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. But then work required sometimes, because I was salary, it required me to stay a little bit over, so like 7 or 7:30 p.m. So, I mean, by the time you're done with a work shift, you do not want to drive an hour and a half again. So, ranting on, that's pretty much what happened. Yeah. So, my whole thing with this happening, right? I was, just for paid transparency, I was making $120,000. If you include the stocks and all that, right? $120,000 as a production supervisor at Tesla. When I started in 2019,
it's not a bad salary. It's not a bad salary, especially if you're chilling and you're sleeping in your car and you're minimizing costs. And he had an electric vehicle, which meant that he prevented himself from having to spend a whole lot of money on gas. Now, again, I'm assuming that this is over in California. 120 bands a year for one person. That's not a bad do.
I was a production associate, so it was entry level. And, I have a business degree from San Jose State. And I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of demoralizing, kind of like going into entry-level job. Yes, it was Tesla 2019 at the time, but like I was kind of distraught because, man, I mean, you're just doing the basic minimum entry-level, placing parts onto something and that's it. Like, it wasn't very like
challenging,
hard to do. It was so easy that anyone can do it. So
a robot,
but my mindset,
that they about to make can do it, right?
Was like, hey, I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna do my best, no matter what, no matter the results, and I'm gonna do my best every single time I am in here. I'm gonna try to get my name out there. I'm gonna do my best because that is what I represent. Is like I try to do my best no matter what, and it's like sometimes I take it to a level where it's like, people are like, damn, that's different, right? Like. That's the cleaning person there ever was, right? 2019, went into entry-level job. After that, yeah. I have nothing against Tesla. It's like a very good company. I like Tesla. Like, I like the car. I like the brand. I like what it stands for. So I'm not gonna be, bash on them at all. Like, it's actually provided me.
I would actually hire him.
He
has a really, really, really good attitude.
I have a home and all that.
Pretty big home.
Yeah. Yeah, we're selling the house, sell the furniture, and then my next plan is to actually live in this car.
Heck, no. Let me look at this plan again. Jesus Christ. Do he got kids? Did he say he had a woman that he was with? Did he say we selling? Let me back up.
So yeah. Yeah, we're selling the house.
Yep, it's a we. So he must got a girl. He must got a girl. Yep.
Sell the furniture. And then my next plan is to actually live in this car. That's the
fastest way to get yourself out of a relationship. That's the fastest way to be able to get yourself out of a relationship. Hey, baby, we about to go and live. You want to test your girl? Y'all want to test your girl? What up, Connie? Nah. You want to test your girl? Babe, we got to get rid of everything. We got to live in our car for a little while. Just ask her. It ain't even got to be true. If you want to know what it's like to be broken up with that fast, tell her, hey, baby, we got to leave the confines of this crib and we're going to have to live in our car for the next 5 years. 5 years, unhoused, homeless. 5 years, taking showers at your gym, going to wash up and use the bathroom at Wally World, Walmart. Getting bust down in the back seat of the Tesla. Sheesh. Oh, he said his next move is to do it for 5 years. 5 years? That's a lot. That's a lot to ask. That is a lot to ask. I can't live in my car, let alone for 5 years. I could do it for like 5 days. I mean, I'm driving somewhere across the country or something like that. 5 years, that's a long time.
Living in this car for about 5 years. And the reason why for that is because I'm tired of this system, right?
Jesus Christ.
I live in California, right? Rent is super high.
Get out of California. I keep telling y'all, get the hell out of California, bro. Get out of California. If y'all got to live in y'all car for 5 years in order to be, y'all need to leave, bro. Start a new life somewhere else in the middle of the country. California is not where it's at. All of y'all homeless parking on the side of the street in a parking lot at Home Depot.
High. Mortgage to get a house, super high. So you got your housing payments above $1,000 for sure. Like no matter what, it's gonna be like $1,000 around. And then you got utilities, you got electric, you got water, you got garbage, you got Wi-Fi, you got all these type of bills, man. And then like, I remember.
See how you start having this epiphany when you get laid off? You see how you start having this epiphany when you get laid off? This is the first stage of grief. This is the first stage of grief as you just start thinking about all of the possibilities and how you wasted the money. And man, this is expensive. It's the first stage of grief, bro.
Going it line by line because my little brother was like, hey man, I'm just gonna live in my car.
Oh, so his we must be his little brother. I'm assuming that the we is his little brother.
I was like, hey, you ain't wrong. Like, when I went through that Excel sheet, because I have a budget, it was like, this thing's real. Like, you can literally save like almost $2,000 a month and put it towards the stock market. And in 5 years, you could be financially independent. And that's what I want to do. I'm fired up of like, getting laid off might have been the best thing that's ever happened to me, because
that could be true.
I think that this is going to light the fire and the spark of like, hey, like, this is, you got to get out of this rat race. Like, the rent is like so high. It's like,
now you're giving financial advice. It's the second stage of grief.
You know what? We're going to go against the system. We're going to go against the system, and
that's going to last about a good 3 months, and then you're going to get tired, and it's going to be like, man, it's rough out here. It's hard out here for a pimp when you're trying to get that money for the rent.
The way you do that is, you're going to live in your car, and then it's going to
take one situation.
It's going to be a hard and long fought journey, but you know, I'm with it. I'm with it because I'm tired of paying the rent and all of that. And then look, I lost my job, and then I can't, the mortgage, like all that, right? Like, we got to sell the house. We have no choice, right? So it's like, I don't want to be in this position again. Like, it's just, yeah, it sucks, right? So, yeah, that's where the thing is headed. Selling the house, selling the furniture, and then live in the car for 5 years, and then I'm done. Like, financially independent, right? I have enough money to be financially independent.
Unless you just blow up on YouTube or something like that.
So that's where the trend is going. That's where that's the next plan, right? I'm gonna vlog it all on YouTube and on Instagram.
There you go.
Go ahead and
there you go.
Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Give the video.
All right, y'all go ahead and check out again Nico Murillo. See what his journey is. I think that being authentic with your journey is awesome. It's a great idea, being awesome, especially when you facing some kind of tragedy. People can relate to you. They try to figure out how it is that they can buy into your brand, and so you just got to give them a reason to. But yeah, that's a little much, a bit much. Living in my car, van life, and a Tesla, it's not my cup of tea. God said, that's not for you, Anton. That's not for you. Let me read a couple of super chats, and then we're going to get y'all up out of here for the day because it's Friday. Bag Chasers, we up. Shout out to Tech Coach Ralph. If y'all not a part of the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. You do want to join today, all right? Mr. Lott is in the building again. Shout out to my guy, Mr. Lott. Says, I experienced my first layoff 2 years after college. They let me work a half a day and fired me at lunch. To add insult to injury, my check engine light my check engine light came on as soon as I got home. It happened just like that. It seemed like everything started hitting you at the same time. True to myself, big bro says, give my little brother True his wrench back, dog. No, he called me names. Hey, the big bro came in and said, hey, man, give my little brother his wrench back, dog. No, he called me names. He called me names. He called people in the chat names. He was ready to crash out. He was feeling some type of way. And he said I was an evil son of a bee. Did he tell you that part? Go back and watch it. Go back and watch that live stream where he got his wrench took. Tell him to give you the timestamps. The timestamps is in every video on the Millionaire Morning Show. We get to it eventually. Tell him to go and look at the time that he got his wrench took. He was over there having a power trip. And we have been warning. And I said, hey, man, just take some time, chill out. And he was over there crashing out inside of the chat. And he called me a son of a bee. Oh, man. Shout out to True to myself. We still love you, big dog, over here. We gonna modify the wrenches to make sure that they don't get out of hand. All right? Tell little bro to cool off for a minute. He in timeout. I didn't even listen, I just told him that I was going to put him on a pip. Real talk. I said, listen, little bro, true to myself. This don't mean this is forever, ever. I'm going to just put you on a PIP, a performance improvement plan. Oh, man. I just put him on a PIP. Just a little bit of a PIP. Man, listen, I'm likely to give him a wrench and he going to time all of y'all out. If I give him a wrench right now without him calming down, he gonna send Sabrina, Marcus, Kiro, maybe not Kate, Connie, Young Boy. Listen, bro. Kyla, Molly, he gonna send all of y'all to Pelican Bay. He gonna be timing people out like a mug. He gonna be timing people out all day long. Listen, bro. If I give him a wrench right now, he gonna take out revenge on everybody inside of the chat. We don't want him having revenge on the people. So you got to take some time. Just chill out. Just relax. Don't crash out. Yeah, everybody gonna be blocked if I give him a wrench today. And it's Friday, so that means I ain't even gonna realize it until Monday. Tell him, listen. 30 days, we reevaluate his performance on his PIP. We see what the progress is. And then we go from there. Tell him to participate in the chat. Be regular. Don't be going off back and forth with people and all of that. Just be regular. And then we're going to evaluate his performance. And we're going to see what goes on from there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to True to Myself's big brother coming to his little brother's aid. Prince Elliot, what's the possibility that that's True to Myself with another account? Hey, I'm True to Myself's big brother. Oh, man. Come on, man. I'm sleepy. Prince Elian says, great Friday, Mr. Daniels. Just finished my goal of walking 8 miles. Oh, man. Extra $8 plus 2 extra for getting me through the walk. Time to clean up and play around the golf. Man, you out here killing the game, Prince Elian. Shout out to you, big dog. I appreciate you. Shout out to everybody that's a part of the chat. It was an interesting. Hey, I got a show that I'm supposed to be on tomorrow. I think 11 or 12 p.m. Eastern. Either 11 a.m. or 12. Let me double check. Let me let y'all know where I'm going to be at so y'all can pull up on me. Pull up on me. Pull up on me. BMT. BMT is a passport bro, if I'm not mistaken. I actually had him come up and cam up one time on a Millionaire Morning Show. BMT. Let me double check. Pass. BMT Travel. Well, is it BMT Travels? Yeah, BMT Travels. So I'm going to be on BMT Travels. I believe that's his channel. I'll keep you guys up to date. I'm going to post it in the community tab probably like 15 minutes before I go live with him tomorrow. So he asked me to pull up. BMT Travels asked me to pull up. And so we're going to go up there and we're going to kick it with the passport bros and we're going to see what they're going to talk about tomorrow morning. Let me double check the time. 12, say 12 to 1. Say 12 to 1 Eastern. So adjust for whatever your time zone is. And we're going to kick it and we're going to go from there. Shout out to my dog, Brock. Brock says, pass the love offering. I'm joked out at True to Myself. Don't time me out, fam. Oh, my God. Y'all be rubbing it in. Just rubbing it in. So, yeah, man, we're going to be over there at BMT. And we're going to kick it with your boy. And kick it with the Passport Bros. I will put it in the community tab of the Anton Daniels channel. So y'all can be able to come over there and kick it with your boy and have a good time. And then it's a strong possibility that I might live stream tonight on After Hours. So if I give me a little bit of a nappy nap, and chill out, it's a strong possibility. I'm like 98% sure that me and Mika is going to live stream on After Hours tonight and tomorrow night. All right. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. Shout out to my dog, True to Myself's big bro. Says it's cool, big dog. We at Richard Fain anyway. Y'all over at the competition? y'all giving them all of my trade secrets. Hold on. Let me see. Is Richard Fain live right now? Let me go and see this. I ain't heard that name in a while. Shout out to Richard Fain. How's he doing? Oh, shit. Look at Richard. Look at Richard Fain's cover photos. Jesus Christ. Talk about really, really fumbling and not really becoming what it is that you need to be. Richard Fain's cover photos look wow, bro. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up. This don't make no sense. Let me move this out the way. Google Chrome. Actually, let's do this. Y'all see that cover photo right there, man? That look crazy, bro. Oh, man, look at Richard. Get your money in the stock market now, guys. Oh, I just got the giggles, y'all. I got the giggles today. Hey, guys, get your two free stocks. I got the giggles. Shout out to Richard Fain, man. Shout out to Richard Fain, man. Shout out to you, big dog. Get your 10 free stocks. Your Weeble account. Remember, guys, get your Weeble account. Get your 10 free stocks. And remember, if you send me an Instagram post, I'll make sure I send you your 10 free Weeble stocks. That way I can get you started on your financial journey today. Okay? Because the whole world is burning down. Hey, guys, we going to get the Prime Fund up and running, and that way I can show you guys how to really transition into financial freedom, okay? It's going to be a random 10 free stocks on Weeble. Richard get it, though. I ain't even going to cap. Richard do be getting it. He know how to market himself. His thumbnails need a little bit of work, but he definitely know how to market himself, and he getting to the bag. So shout out to Richard Fain getting to the bag. We had our little dust up, but it's all love. He was feeling some type of way, but we had to go ahead and put that out, put that fire out. Anyways, I love y'all. On Monday, he gonna release a video on his feelings. Oh, man. Anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Yeah. Oh, yep. That's what he says. Do this to make your annual income your monthly income. Sign up for Weeble today. Oh, Jamal Fowler says, when are you going to make an appearance on EYL? I have no affiliation. Listen, if somebody invite me, then I'll take it into consideration. But I know Ian. People don't invite me. I don't get invited to the party. I'm a leper. I'm a leper. Look, My bro don't like how you use your chat versus him. Hey, man, if he don't get his life together, that PIP is going to be 60 days instead of 30 days, all right? Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody that's rocking out. Ain't nobody leveraging nothing against him. I told the chat to leave that boy alone. Let that man rock. Anyways, yeah, he said he wasn't showing his money. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a phenomenal weekend. We're going to be live streaming tonight on After Hours, and we're going to run up a bag. I love y'all. Y'all are the greatest audience on earth. Give yourselves a round of applause and give your people over at the Patreon. Shout out to Tia Marie. I love you, Tia. Tia, you didn't see me get distracted earlier today. Thank God. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later, man. Peace.